Hey folks, this is Wolfen 4966. I'm John, I'm your host. And I'm blind as a bat, man. Anyways, these are for reading and looking up close. Um, I, if you think I'm blind and I can't see you from far away, I can see you better from far away. But anyways, kind of reviewing some videos and getting some really good comments. Thank you for the comments. Keep bringing the comments, the subscriptions, the views. Um, there was a vlogger I used to know. God, I forget his name, but he used to say it's not it's not the views or the subs, but the heart and the content. I think that's what he said. I forget who that was, man. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. That me. Anyways, got the car fixed. I couldn't bring that to you live on the camera because couldn't find a place to pedestal the stand or the camera and get actually a quality video. Number two, I had my neighbor out there who chatty natty, and but I had to borrow his 5/8 spark plug deep well socket and a little extension to go on with the rest of my stuff. Um, Left my box out, someone hauled ass with my 5/8 spark plug socket. It's plain and simple. And there was an extension hanging off it, so it's gone. But it was a Blue Point, and the one that he loaned me's not. It's not mine. Matter of fact, the extension's a little bit shorter. But it worked out. I mean, I wanted to do a step by step for y'all and tell use a vacuum hose, put it on the spark plug, and start it by hand. Um, but in a way, you got to know what you're feeling for to make sure that you're not cross-threading. One thing you don't want to do, there's three things you don't want to do. Ugh. That is, rip the threads as you're taking out the spark plug. It can happen. You can pretty much pull the helical coil out. And ask somebody that's mechanically inclined if you don't know what I'm talking about. I don't want to isolate you all. But when you pull it out, you got to be careful. When you put it in, you got to be careful. When you're pulling it out, you got to be careful. You got to be careful going in and out. You might relate to that, but anyways, you don't want the three things you don't want to do. You don't want to overextend the healing. You don't want to strip out you don't want to strip out the spark plug thread, especially where you're going to have to pull the block off to fix it. And another one is you don't want to break that spark plug off. That's for sure. So it's an easy job. It can be done in 10 minutes if you know what you're doing. Um, but for the moderate mechanic, it takes a little bit longer. Only due to reason you got to be careful. It's not a rush job. You can't go cranking it at an angle and moving it all around in there. It doesn't work out, folks. Well, I got it all changed out. I only had four, but I got what they call um, um, I got modules on a stick is what that's what I would say it is. But they're really your coils, and what they do is you get the square coil and come down, and that actually plugs into number one, and then that one comes over, plugs into number four, and then you got the same thing for number two, and number two comes around and plugs into number three. Anyways, I put it on diagnostic, and it was misfiring on number 3 and possible 3 and 4, possibly. Well, I pulled 4 out, man. It's just covered in oil, so I already know I got a valve in the in a timing chain cover job to do in the future. Uh, Most likely valve cover. And the reason why I know that is oil inside the top of the chamber, not actually in the piston chamber, but in the little chamber for the housing for the spark plug, full of oil. It's leaking from the valve cover. Things strip down from top. That's all you got. You just remember gravity, right? So those things are low enough to where it doesn't matter if the head's leaking. Valve cover, yes. But anyways, uh, got her running. She's running good. I took her out. Well, spark plugs and all that was good. Tested those. I tested the spark plugs, wires, and I tested the uh, the solenoid, the coils, and comes out everything's good. Let's see some here. I don't know what I'm doing half the time.